Yeah, good evening. My name is Roberto. I stay in Port Elizabeth, South Africa. I was just watching a program called Survivor. I think it's something which most people is familiar with. I don't know what series you're watching. Maybe it's in some parts of the world it's probably an old series. I don't know. But I was watching it and I thought to myself, does Survivor actually sum up how life is? That when you want to get somewhere in life, you need to manipulate people. You need to create a situation which gives a false description of whatever you are. And watching that series, it's amazing how people build up friendship, but it's a false friendship. They build up a relationship, it's a false relationship. Simply because they have a prize. The goal is to get a prize at the end of the day. And it's quite surprising. And sometimes you can get quite emotional. But it teaches one that people that call you friends, or that you think are friends, sometimes people need to be tested. Sometimes you really know people are really your friends. And the thing is, what I also find about the Survivor series is that it takes you out of your comfort zone. And sometimes we don't like to be taken out of a comfort zone. Because the comfort zone makes us feel secure, makes you feel safe. Maybe in your comfort zone there's people that surround you. But at the same time, one also have to ask the question, when do I get out of my comfort zone? When I want to try something new, or I need to move on with my life, or I have to make a choice about something. It's not easy at all. When I look at that Survivor series, the false insecurities you must create for other people, to make them believe in what you are saying. And it seems like it's a world that you are in now. Cheryl's wrote here, survival is not easy. It stretches you, but it builds character. Which is quite true. And I think right now we're in that moment in time. We are now in the survival mode. But now it's a time to innovate. Now, I'm taken really up by a lot of people's kindness. I don't want to mention anybody specifically. But it is just simply amazing. Yes, it's difficult. But now's the time really that you have to sit down and say, well, I put my cigarettes aside. I put my alcohol aside. A lot of people think it is difficult. But if you consider for 2 weeks, went out without chocolates. I mean, chocolates, a lot of people love chocolate. But luxuries, if you think about it, was put aside. And funny enough, how many of us has managed so far? We think you can't go without luxuries, but yet we can. I mean, you have to come up with doing something new, something different. I'm sure a lot of people is into baking now. I'm sure a lot of people has walked many times to the fridge. I'm one of them anyway. Yeah, I can feel clothes is getting a bit tight. But anyway, so yeah. It's really the time to innovate. Even maybe if you are in a small space, maybe it's a good time to learn how to play cards, learn how to play dominoes, either with cards or with whatever blocks you have got. You know, I just sat down, or shall I say, I got to a point where it's like, I just seemed motivated really today to start doing little things around the house. I started, I stopped, and then it's like, my mind is telling me, get used to the comfort. Sit down, lay down, relax. I'm tired of sleeping. I'm tired of eating. I'm tired of watching television. But life goes on. You can't get tired of those things because right now, in my case, that's the things I'm doing all the time. I mean, maybe it's more people that's into reading. Well, I haven't got into my reading yet. I love reading, but I like to choose sometimes to read. I think now is not one of those moments. Maybe later on I'll get the urge to read. But it's so easy for the mind to get comfortable where you are right now. Maybe it's time to think, maybe not all of us is into online business or things like that. But maybe now it's a good time to think about it. Not necessarily, get involved in a business, but why not? But it's maybe trying to look at things and ask yourself, well, how does online work? What are the benefits? Alton, it's not the replay, brother. It's actually live. The timing is perfect. Thanks for hopping on. Like I was saying, maybe it's time to think about online things, I think we all scared. We're worried about being scammed. Captain in the house, I like that one. Yes, so I think it's a good thing to, if somebody has online business, speak to them, ask them how it works, which website they use. It's important to find out about security because as South Africans, it comes to online business, it's very few of us. If I look at it percentage-wise, very few of us that's online. Maybe the rest of the world, can be, maybe Africa is not online, I don't know. Thanks, Elton. Well, I must say, I think I've been eating so well, I must look good. Yeah, so online business may be a way to go. And like I mentioned, years ago, I saw Star Wars quite a long time ago. And the thing that caught me in the first Star Wars film, I'm giving away my age. Okay, I was young, you know what I mean? Or very young, shall I say. And the thing that caught my eye was they used these laser swords. Okay, well, it doesn't really matter how they work, but I was fascinated by it. Fascinated, to be honest with you. And I asked myself, what's going to happen next? Not long after that film came out, they started using lasers for eye surgery, the removal of cataracts. And I told myself, that's awesome. And then as years went by, then I got caught up with Transformers. Well, I watched the Star Wars series. Actually, I watched them all. And then I saw something which caught my eye. I think it was Transformers. Okay, fine. Science films and high tech, it just amazes me. I just love that. Those type of movies, I just love it, There's no emotion, there's no tears. Basically, I wouldn't say that's a male movie type of thing, but yes, I love what I saw. And I started then following all the Iron Man series, which I enjoyed thoroughly. And true. My friend Jay Alton said this is the perfect time for people to an online business. And it's very business to get involved with. Well, Alton, whoever's listening, Alton is speaking from experience. So yeah, he just affirmed what I just said a few minutes ago for the online business. Give it a try. So I was looking at these Iron Man films, and I came home and I told my wife, I saw a few things in that Iron Man film. I think that is the future. And what I liked about him is that he had this computer, and he said something in the computer, pushed up an image, the next minute he pushed the image just simple into the air, and he starts moving it around. And I was amazed by that. And then, as the Transformer movies kind of move on and on. But I asked myself the one question. Is that the world I want to live in? A world full of robots? Now, where the robot can tell you what to do. The robot actually controls you. Yes, obviously in most movies, they always come with a good guy and a bad guy point line or storyline. And that always caught my eye. But I never realized is that Hollywood, in my eyes, is always trying to tell us something. I go back to the X-Men. Something which pops to my head was. It's where Xavier, the guy in the wheelchair, I'm sure you can remember him, then he goes to a certain room. And then he puts on something onto his head. But somehow, he can see the whole world in front of him. He sees what person is doing what, which side of the world. I thought, that's awesome. No, because Xavier was a guy that's trying to do something good. He's a guy that's trying to say mutants can coexist with a human being. In the movie, it's fine. I can understand that. But Hollywood is not just making movies. As the world evolves, so Hollywood evolves. The thing is, what amazes me about Hollywood is that they start with something, and not long before you know it, that thing's in the commercial world. Coincidence? I don't know. Are they telling a story? Might be. But Hollywood always has this knack of bringing something on the screen which is coming in the future. It makes me scared. Not in my limbs, but just the thought that what you see in the movies, that is the future. I'll repeat myself. That what you see in the movies, that's the future. Hard to believe. But if you look at some of the movies in the last 5 years, you would see that a lot of things which is in the movies are starting to follow up. I mean, in the X-Men they shows mutants and people getting along. Is that the future? I don't know. I'm not in the future. I'm in the present. It's inevitable. Automation must come. At what expense? At the expense of human life? If saving life is so important, then why are we busy creating technology which can destroy the human race? That just there's no balance to it. Maybe balance for the rich elite. But at the end of the day, I'd like to say, what does one leave behind? What legacy do you leave behind? A bed of destruction? Or a life with a future? So right now, a lot of things is happening. But you need to see the bigger picture. At the end of the day, the future is inevitable. Change must come. The question I'll always ask, how much people might die just for automation technology? I don't have the power over death. I don't have the power over life. But the least I can do is to enhance life. I think as human beings, at the end of the day, that's what we are called for. Yes, we want a better life for all, but at what cost? At what cost? Anyway, my name is Roberto. I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you everybody for hopping on. It was my pleasure. Thanks for your time. God bless. Good night.